Networking. What is it? How do I do it? Why do people talk about it all the time? In this video, we're going to cover how to network and probably how to network properly, and not just like say the word networking over and over again and hope that that makes sense to you, and maybe teach you guys something that'll help you build some connections on Twitch. But before we get into today's video, guys, I just want to say a huge thanks to everyone who's been subscribing and watching the videos. It's so cool. It's really awesome to have hit 1,000 subscribers, so thank you so much. I can't believe it. I never thought I'd have 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, and I know that doesn't seem like a lot for most people, but for me, it's wow. If you've missed any of my other videos on Twitch or on streaming, you can find them on my channel or by following the card up here. Check them out. They're good. They're worthwhile. And if you're a new streamer and looking to grow, those videos might be able to help you. Might be able to save you some time and some energy. And if you haven't yet, it would be really cool if you could follow me on Twitch. I'm live 4 days a week. We play a variety of games over there. It's a lot of fun. The link is on the bottom of the screen, and it's a good time. What I want everyone to do right now, just before we kind of continue into this video, is I'd like you to throw any preconceived notions of networking that you have right now out the window. I feel like networking has this really weird, like that term, networking, it has this really weird kind of connotation around it. Like when I think of networking, I think of business and like shaking hands and wearing good clothes and like really formal attitude. What I'd like you all to do for the next while you watch this video is get rid of the word networking out of your head and replace it with making friends. Making friends, right? Making actual valuable connection with someone else that, you know, you can take forward. If like I met someone, you know, in real life, and I said to that person like, oh, you want to be friends? That's cool, right? That's all right. That's a bit of a weird thing to say probably, but you know, you get what I mean. You want to be my friend. And if I then become friends with that person, I'll most likely be there for them, like help them out. You help out your friends, right? But if I approach somebody and said, hey, do you want to be in my network? It's just weird, man. No, I don't want to be in your network. Networking implies that there's like an ulterior motive behind what you're doing. It implies that if you want to network with somebody, that you want like something from them. And obviously, yes, like having connections with other streamers can be beneficial. Like don't approach somebody with the express intent that like I'm networking with you right now because I know that you'll get me viewers, or I know your followers will like me or whatever. That's just wrong, and it's backhanded and people see right through that. So don't approach networking for the next while. While you listen to this video, don't approach, if I say the word networking, don't treat it as the standard like gaining connections. Think of it as gaining friends. I think people think that networking is kind of almost like this, you know, unspoken language that other streamers like know that you're networking with them. Just because you come in my chat and like you let me know that you stream or whatever, and you start asking me certain things, it's you think you're networking with me, but I just think you're asking me the same thing everyone does all the time. Like you're not holding up a sign that says I'm networking with you right now, and then I say, okay, cool, you're networking with me. Like let's get networked, let's get connected. People seem to think that there's a way of doing this, like a very formal, like set of rules where, you know, you have to do certain things, like you have to say a secret code or some shit. Like no, there's not. It's not. It's very cut and dry. It's very much like you meet someone like you would anywhere else. That connection still has to occur for you to have successfully networked, right? Just because you're a streamer and I'm a streamer and you ask me for something doesn't mean that like I'm in your network, right? It has to be a genuine connection there, like an actual friend. If you went to a party and like you got introduced to somebody and you didn't like that person, like, you know, you're not going to hang out with them. It's the same way with networking. If you get introduced to another streamer and that streamer has 10 times your following, you may not actually like that person. So you may not want to be in their network. So yeah, to simplify it down, do not approach it with, I need this from you. I'm networking with you now, so give it to me. That's not what we're doing here. Now that we have a little bit more of a general understanding of what networking is as a whole, let's talk about some do's and don'ts when it comes to networking. One thing I've seen kind of on my travels on the internet from when I was a wee streamer, you know, didn't know what the hell to do. I was on like Facebook and Reddit and Twitter and all these places looking for advice. And I joined all these groups and I joined all these subreddits of streamers. And I'm still a member of them today. Not because I engage with them, not because I think they're very overly valuable or anything. The reason I stay in them is because it's always a good reminder of just how not to operate, right? But one thing I see consistently on those pages or on those forums is like people being like, oh, hey, just hit 100 followers or just hit 500 followers. But one of the things you always see in those comment sections is like somebody being like, oh my God, like I've been streaming for 5 years. How did you do this? And the person will always respond with, oh, it's just networking and blah, blah, blah. And like, I spent this amount of time networking each week. What you'll always then see afterwards is, hey, join this Discord. We're a networking community, or we're a community page and we support each other. This is not networking. This is putting a couple of 100 or 1,000 people in one space that will spam the living Jesus out of each other for till the end of time, right? Everyone there is there because they think that their stream will grow as a result. They are not there to support other streams or view other streams. All these streamers that are in these Discords, just because there's 1,000 streamers or 100 streamers that are a member of these Discords, does not mean that you're going to get 1,000 extra viewers or 1,000 extra connections or 1,000 extra subs or whatever from being a part of it. That is not genuine. That's just putting a load of people in there that will most likely just follow each other and do nothing else. That isn't networking. You can't physically talk to that many people and get to know that many people all at once. Now, what a better use of your time would be is if you're in a Discord with like another streamer. Let's say you're in insert name here is Discord, and there's like a streamer section or a self-promo section, and you yourself post in there, but you're getting to know other people who post in there. Maybe you're talking with them in the Discord, and you both have small streams. There's an opportunity to use Discord to its advantage. Not these like follow for follow communities. They're just awful. The only thing they will do is artificially inflate your follow count, which just that just makes no sense. So these community Discords or these networking Discords, they're not actually offering you any value, any actual connections. And as a result, you won't be offering value to anyone else. So avoid those. Avoid them at all costs. That's not actually how to network. That's just a way to boost each other's follow counts and not actually get better at streaming. A great way to make connections or meet new people on Twitch is by raiding people. Say you're playing a game, you've had a pretty decent stream, you want to raid someone, you want to send that love on, which you should always do. Raiding is always really good. People should raid more. What I tend to do sometimes is just find somebody who has a similar amount of viewers as me, or maybe even less viewers, 0 viewers sometimes, 2 or 3 viewers, and I'll raid that person. But then what I'll do is I'll find someone who says, hey, I'll say hi, and I'll find someone who says, hey, back to me. Somebody's like, hey, Two Shoes, what's going on, buddy? How are you? Blah, blah, blah. And then I'm like, yeah, that person's getting the raid. But what has happened a lot of times is I'll raid somebody, but then I'm like, holy shit, this person's really fun and this person's really entertaining, and I'll stick around. And then I'll raid that person again a couple of times down the line. All right. And then what's happened is that person then will raid me, you know, and it's that give and take. And that's kind of how you end up building a connection with that person, because you'll end up chatting to them. Like, you know, I've had people I've rated join my Discord, and I'll chat with them and we'll talk about Twitch and we'll talk about games and what's working for us and what's not. And then you're building up a connection, right? And there's nothing's expected from each other, but I've made a friend now. And I'll go to that friend. If I have something happening on Twitch, I'll be like, oh, hey, buddy, have you seen this new thing? Or blah, blah, blah. And we can talk about it. And that's really, really cool. All of that has just come from raiding somebody. And then like that, like even just last night on my stream, one guy that I had raided when he had like 5 viewers, raided me with 25 viewers, which is awesome. That's a huge raid, right? If you find someone who has not a lot of viewers, who you know deserves more viewers, chances are eventually they'll have those viewers. And then, hey, look at that. The favor's returned. And you meet someone cool out of it. So raiding can be a really, really great way to make a new friend or to make a new connection. Co-streaming. Co-streaming is awesome. It's a great way for 2 communities to come together under the banner of a single stream. You get to stream with somebody else who's like-minded to you, and it's a good time for both communities to come together and have like a really fun stream out of it. Co-streaming is a really, really great way of you know, introducing you to someone else's community or vice versa. But there's a right way of doing it, and there's a way to do it right and get the most out of it you can. So if you reach out to a streamer and you decide you're going to co-stream together, make sure you pick a game that fits both your streaming styles. If you're both kind of say high energy streamers and you both like to make jokes, you've good timing with each other, and you know, have a fun old time, maybe don't play chess, or you know, maybe don't play Call of Duty or like a shooter game that like, you know, you both will be really focused and not talking a lot together. Play a game that will fit both your styles, because that will show off your personality a lot to the other chat as well, who may not know you. All right, like think about this as well. Like when you co-stream with somebody, you have all your own audience, right, who are most of the time there anyway, but it's also an opportunity for you to kind of showcase who you are to a whole bunch of other people who may not have never met you. Like if you're a streamer that's like really into like competitive games, you don't want to stream Stardew Valley with another streamer, because you won't have a lot to say or you won't have a lot to input. But like that, if you're a silly goofy streamer, say perhaps like me, maybe you'd like to play like Goose Game or something with another streamer where you both can, you know, shine and show your personalities and make jokes and have all that kind of thing. So be tactical about the game you pick. You know, like you might make a really good connection with say an Apex Legends player, and they might want you to play Apex Legends with them, but will that really benefit you? Will you be able to like be you and get your personality across on that stream, maybe you can. And if you feel confident with that, absolutely, hell yeah, go for it. Can't hurt you. I guess what I'm trying to say is, be tactical about what you pick to play, because this is, might be a one-time thing. It might be the only opportunity you have to introduce yourself to that community. So you may as well give it the best shot you can. One thing I see a lot in co-streams as well that is super annoying but so easily avoidable is when you're in Discord with another streamer and neither of you are deafening to talk to your chat. It's kind of awkward for the other streamer that you're in with, especially if they're doing that. And it's also kind of awkward for the other person's channel. I've been in co-streams before where I'll be talking to the streamer that I'm streaming with, and next thing they might get like a follow or whatever. And halfway through their conversation with me, they're like, "Hey, John25425, thanks so much for the follow. I really appreciate that. Welcome in, blah, blah, blah." And then they'll start reading chat and talking to chat, and you're kind of just sitting there. You don't know whether to talk to your chat because, then your chat is also hearing this person or whatever. It's just awkward sometimes for both the streamer and their communities, and sometimes even your community as well. What I suggest doing there is have a deafen button, like hooked into a hotkey somewhere. Like I have mine on my mouse button. I click one button, Discord deafens, which means the other streamer can't hear my mic and I can't hear them. If I'm chatting to them and something happens in my chat that I have to address, I can click that button. It's not too jarring for them. They can't hear me anyway. I'll just go in, thank my chat, talk to them for a second, and then I can undeafen and go back in and continue on. And I could just say to the streamer, "Oh, sorry, I was talking to chat," or something like, "What did you say?" We can repeat it again. That's a really good way of doing it, and it's kind of unintrusive. But one thing definitely to do is make sure you turn off the noise that happens when you deafen in Discord. When you click your deafen button, there's a little noise. So you don't want that to be coming through your stream every 10 seconds if you have to deafen. So make sure you turn that off. Also, if you really want to maximize the benefits of co-streaming, advertise it to your community, remind chat about it. Maybe get a command going in your chat that people can type in !co-op, and they'll see "Oh, hey everybody, on this date we're playing this game with this streamer," and tag that streamer. If you want as well, create a little graphic in Photoshop or whatever with both your logos and put the date and time on it and post that out on Twitter. And that way that streamer will probably retweet that so their viewers can see it and get a bit of a hype surrounding it, right? Make it like an event that people can look forward to. That's a really good way of just doing it, as opposed to just logging on one night and being like, "Hey guys, we're playing Apex Legends with X Legend Killer 24 tonight." People are gonna be like, "Oh shit, I don't want to listen to X Legend Killer 24 tonight." If you promote it, say a week or so in advance, it gives you a chat to be like, "Oh cool, I wonder who they're streaming with tonight," and they'll go and look at that streamer and they'll be like, "Oh, they're gonna be so fun together," or it's a good time, and it's a great way to promote it and get chat excited for it, and their viewers will come and do the same for you as well. Again, don't force this to happen. Don't force this co-stream. If you connect with somebody or you make a friend out of somebody, you might really like them, but do you like their stream, right? Do you think that you guys will be a good duo together? Don't want to force a co-op stream just because that person has a lot of viewers or a lot of followers. It has to be, fun for you as well. Remember that the whole core idea here is to make a cool friend at the end of the day as well. And if it's mutually beneficial, then hey, that's just a bonus, right? There's a very specific way of doing things and talking to other streamers, and it's not something you can really I can tell you how to do it, but you kind of just learn it as you go, right? Again, it's not written down, it's not carved in sacred text somewhere, it is very much a real thing. And always bear that in mind that am I breaking etiquette here? Am I being a bit forward? Am I being whatever? Keep that in your head when you are approaching streamers. For example, don't just DM random streamers out of nowhere. Chances are you won't get a reply back in the first place. I've had people DM me a lot, specifically after I've maybe raided them or whatever, and straight away in with the "Hey buddy, thanks so much for the raid, hey, let's co-stream sometime, can't wait to co-op stream." And I'm like, whoa, pump the brakes there, bud. Don't do that, because what that says to me is that you're not networking. You just want my viewers to follow you. What that says to me is that you now want to co-op stream with me without ever seeing me stream, or without even knowing me. You may not even like me. We mightn't get on. We mightn't be friends. The fact that straight away you're asking to co-stream with me is that you've seen my follower count, you've seen my view count, or whatever, and you want to capitalize on that. The correct way to do that is to DM somebody and be like, "Hey bud, thanks so much for the raid, appreciate it a lot, whatever, yada yada yada, small talk. We small talk back and forth for a while, and then it's "Oh hey, we should do this," but don't go in straight away for it. It's just a bit forward, and all that says to me is that you just want to do this for more viewers. You actually don't care about having a good time together or making a friend. It's literally just views you want. Just wait a while. Put the foundations of a relationship in there before you go asking them to co-stream. Everybody, thank you so much for watching my video on networking on Twitch. I hope that made things a little bit clearer. Those of you who are a bit confused where to start when it comes to networking. If you have any more questions, maybe things you were wondering that I didn't answer, please leave me a comment below. What was the best tip you found when you were trying to make more connections on Twitch? If you have any suggestions, I would love to hear them. As always, if you like today's video, please do leave a like. It really does help. I never really understood why YouTubers always say that, but now as I'm doing this more, I'm like, yes, please leave a like. It really helps. And you can catch me on Twitch at twitch.tv/x2shoes. I'm live 4 days a week. It's a good time. We'll see you next week for another video about all things streaming. Look after yourself. Stay safe. Remember, you matter. You're loved. And you're just a fucking awesome person. So keep killing it. I'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.